When I first saw the trailer for Pokemon Sword and Shield, I made a decision. That decision was to not go through the video at quarter speed and overanalyze every pixel on every frame to find something that isn't there, because that's just stupid, right? Well, apparently, that was the wrong decision to make, because I looked at the trailer, and it's kind of obvious. Game Freak is trying to tell us something, and there's a lot of cool little mysteries that will be revealed in the future, and we're going to learn about, like the geoglyphs. So when I saw things like this, I wasn't expecting Game Freak to be hiding anything inside the trailers, especially for the first news reveal, and think about it, there really weren't too many secrets in the little teases that we got about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and maybe like one or two in Pokemon Sun and Moon, so I wasn't expecting Game Freak to pull any of those shenanigans. Yet, here I am right now. Wait for it. Wait for it. And that's a gem. And that's just kind of there. You know, that's not a mistake. That's gonna be a thing. And that's where we are today, because now we have to break down the mystery of that symbol, because this is going to be the key of Generation 8. This is going to be the primary new feature. This is going to be the focus of the game. And it doesn't even end there. Like, apparently you don't have to scrub frame by frame as long as you're looking for it, because it's hiding in plain sight in the Pokemon Direct. When Omori's talking, we get a better view of the big city, and yep, there it is. This is ridiculous, guys. There's something crazy going on. This is how it works. We've had this happen for the last couple Pokemon games as well. Mega Evolution, Z moves, the red and blue stones with primal reversion. The Japanese logos, they have it. And the thing is, like, we don't really know what it is until it comes out, because we got the logos for Pokemon Sun and Moon on reveal. We got the logos for Pokemon X and Y on reveal, but then we had to, like, wait for that to happen. It's like, oh, snap. That means something. I mean, back in Pokemon X and Y, people weren't even, like, over-analyzing this either. It only happened with Pokemon Sun and Moon. We were trying to find out what this crystal ends up doing, and we've never even seen or fathomed anything like Mega Evolution or Z Crystals. I mean, this was just like the Red and Blue Orb, but it still had an extra purpose that meant something for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So now we get to go and break down this. But it's not going to be that easy, because the thing's everywhere, guys. And the weird thing is, I'd watched the trailer dozens of times because I just love sitting back and enjoying the music and getting ready for the beauty of the games that we're about to receive. But since I wasn't looking for it, I was completely blind to the symbol being everywhere, despite talking about it in my video about the leak that we have, because this happened a week before the game came out, and it predicted Sword and Shield in Great Britain. Now, the rest of it is what we need to break down and analyze, because Metal Snake, Wooden Horse, well, that doesn't work with the logos either, because the logos directly represent the legendary Pokemon in some way. So that's a thing, but that's why I went back to logos. I want to take the angle that no one else was taking. If armor evolutions are part of the game, and they're supposed to be like the main selling point, the main mechanic change, much like Z Crystals, much like Mega Evolutions, then that means we're going to see it in the logos, right? Well, that's when I found this, and it didn't really directly say anything about armor. It's like, what does this represent? I don't know. It doesn't look like a shield. But I mean, also, why do we have Sword and Shield version? Why is only armor potentially being represented or something like that? And then we have Armored Charizard. Well, there's a Charizard, or at least a portrait or some kind of like breakdown analysis of a Charizard in the professor's lab that's viewable for one frame on the Japanese trailer because it's blurred out in the English trailer. I don't know if that's just me or how the bitrate works or something, but yeah, like I looked at the same scenes and that's the only time you can really see it, and it definitely looks to be a Charizard, so that's a thing. But the reason why I didn't want to overanalyze Professor's Lab is because that's what people did for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. People were looking at Professor Oak's lab, trying to look at all the charts, nothing came of it. So now we have to like see where the research is going. Is this research trying to break down this new discovery of armor evolutions, or maybe just trying to figure it out more with technological advances? And Armored Charizard, with what looks like a Charizard right there, it lines up, but then how does that work with the legendary Pokemon and some of these other things? Meltan ties into Armored Evolution and the legendary lore. It's nuts, it's wild, but it doesn't end there, because you don't even have to look. You don't even have to look for this stupid little logo. I'm calling it stupid because I swung, I hit the ball, but I fouled out or something like that. You know, I almost had it, but I missed the key detail because it's not like you have to look to find this. It's everywhere. except for that. But I already did a gym discussion. So I thought I mapped out where all 8 gyms would be. And I said there could be a gym in the big city, but I don't really see it. However, it's visible in the trailer because that's the logo that represents the gyms. We can see it in the arena we walk in. We see it on the gym. It looks like it's the main gym pedestal symbol, and then it's there. So that means the clock tower arena is also going to be a gym. That's pretty cool. But what does it mean? Why now the discussion gets even crazier, because why do the logos? Why is the thing most significant to the region, or the mechanic difference that we have that is represented in the logos? Why is that a part of the gyms? Because that really wasn't shown too much. Well, the Island Trials didn't really have this, like, broadcasting it. Same with, like, Mega Evolutions. You didn't really find them, and you learn Mega Evolution later on in the story. Z moves are introduced fairly early on when it comes to Pokemon Sun and Moon. But I mean, this is going to be fairly early on as well. This looks to be potentially the 3rd gym or so. Or maybe that's going to be the 2nd gym. Like, this is the 1st gym, and it doesn't end there. So I was, like, still looking around because, oh, hey, there's the symbol again. So it's on our shirt, but it's also behind the character. So that pretty much confirms, like, okay, this is a gym. But that's different from the other arena that we see, because the other arena, it doesn't have that symbol around. So is this actually, like, the championship bout? Is this, like, at the top of that, like, that glass dome or something that we see at the very top of the map? Or is this, like, a part of the I don't know. Is this a gym, but it doesn't seem to have the gym symbols, and it has a lot of other things, or just this just the online battle? We saw what the online looks like for Pokemon Let's Go and Pokemon Sun and Moon, but it was more obvious. This is harder to tell, but it looks like the stadium, but it's not that stadium, because you can see that there's, like, logos and different layout. I don't know. And then another thing to mention are the colors. We have Shield for red, and we have Sword for blue. And it does look like a spinner, or something spinny going on with the logo when you see it. Like, is it going to be some kind of little insignia? Like the Mega Evolution, you know, that's something that you have to press with the Z crystals. You have to activate them by doing the dance and stuff. So is this going to be something to where you twist it? So, I mean, that almost looks like you can put your fingers on it, and then you can twist it, and then that's going to, like, change the form or change the battle style that's going on for that turn. That would even make Sword and Shield have more of a meaning, besides, like, something historical and medieval feeling and just tying in with the region, but actually tying in with the entire battle style of that area. That's like, okay, you switch between an offensive or defensive turn, somehow augmenting your stats, maybe augmenting the moves you can use. That you have a defensive set of moves, you have an offensive set of moves, and then you're locked into that for a turn, or maybe multiple turns, depending on how it goes. And another thing that just makes it slightly more compelling is that this part crosses over. So we have, like, this whooshing going into, from one color, from one style, into the other. But the weird thing is, like, that twisting action was something that was introduced in Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, because I remember seeing that from the trailers, and that was also kind of crazy. So, yeah, it doesn't, like, is this even related to armor? In some ways, are the armored forms actually not going to be that significant? Because, like, we don't see anything for Alolan variants, we don't see anything for Ultra Beasts in the logos. So I was thinking, maybe I was taking that from the wrong angle, because, like, alright, we tie in the armor evolutions, Z moves, and Mega Evolutions all together, but if the armor evolutions could just maybe be the regional variants of the Galar region, and that's kind of how it's seen, maybe. So then this is still a new feature that we have to learn about, but it's everywhere. And that actually makes me more upset, because, like, Game Freak has given us so much information. There's a lot you can analyze and break down from the map. There's a lot you can analyze and break down from the trailers. They gave us the starters, the map, and the trailers, which is the most Game Freak has ever given us in a Pokemon reveal, and even, like, including multiple reveals of a new game. We still don't have that much information. So I hope we get news soon that keeps piecing this together. Like, will there be enough of that to where instead of having to wait until May for our next news drop, that we could get it in late March? Like, maybe one trailer at the end of March, one trailer at the end of April, and then we're actually going to have a constant stream of news and information kind of like slowly piecing together, but still leaving a lot of mysteries, still leaving a lot to explore. And I think that could be very successful in its own way. So what do you guys think? At this point, I think it's impossible to predict. At best, I feel it's honestly a random guess to get it right. I don't think it ties in with the armored evolution. I honestly think that's going to be regional variant. because it just makes more sense that way, and it also expands upon regional variant without doing the obvious. Like, oh, instead of Sinnoh Remake, we're going to get Sinnoh regional variants, or why did we only get Kanto regional variants in the Alola region? Something like that. So there could be more added on in some kind of way, and then expanding that for the future of Pokemon. And I think that would make the armored forms a lot better, because instead of making that a central gameplay mechanic that's core, like Z Crystals and Mega Evolutions, and creating power creep and mechanic creep and overwhelming what people need to do in the games, Alolan Pokemon didn't bring that. So I think that's definitely a discussion for another video. And there it is, man. Switching battle styles feels weird, but I mean, there's already naturally offensive and defensive Pokemon, so making a tanky Pokemon tankier, I think would have a lot of issues with balance. Making a fast Pokemon, or like, you know, an offensive Pokemon more offensive, that could lead to some problems. I just realized that we have a glove. Why? So it's endless. It could be it's just a feature. And even looking at the Z crystals, I thought it was going to be like the weird fusion crystal that, like with Pokemon Sun and Moon, I thought it was going to be the weird fusion crystal that we have in, oh man, I forget what it was called. There was like a Pokemon series that had that, and that was a thing, but it ended up not being that. You know, you look at the Z crystals, like, oh, just a charged up powerful attack, and all it was a little diamond shape in the logo. Mega Evolutions, it did kind of like the Mega logo when you evolve shows the DNA symbol, but we don't know, like, you're gonna look at the DNA and be like, DNA transformation. It's like, nah, it's just a temporary Mega Evolution power thing going on. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.